Rivian is in big trouble. Rivian CEO shocked all investors with very bad news, something that could lead them to shut down forever. Their stock price is falling like crazy, and Rivian has been selling cars at a loss. Elon Musk literally said that Rivian executives should live in the factory for the struggling company to survive. He thinks Rivian is going to go bankrupt. But is that the true story? Come with me as I tell you the truth behind Rivian and explain why this company might close its doors very soon. Rivian, a company that started in 2009, 6 years after Tesla, finally made it big when they partnered with Amazon and had loads of positive reviews for their EVs. But recently, Rivian has been going downhill, with company shares falling like crazy. Last week, Rivian announced a 10% reduction of its salaried workforce. Their stock price also fell to $10 from $16 a week ago. And get this, Rivian lost about $43,000 on each car it sold to customers in the fourth quarter of 2023, which was even worse than the $30,000 they lost on every car sold in the third quarter of 2023. Their main problem seems to be the pricing. Rivian sells the current R1T for $70,000, and they charge $75,000 for the R1S. They have also talked about launching a cheaper R2 model, but this will not be happening till 2026. And this is their biggest mistake in a price-sensitive market. People like EVs, but not everyone is happy to pay such a huge price. In fact, all the companies that are refusing to lower prices are facing issues. Ford had to temporarily shut down production of their F-150 pickup, while General Motors is also making a loss on their overpriced pickup trucks. And for the final part in the story, Tesla dropped the price of their Model Y SUV along with inventory discounts of up to $8,000 on it. But even despite Rivian's loss, a lot of car enthusiasts are secretly rooting for Rivian. After all, the R1T and R1S are amazing cars. But here's where it gets juicy. Musk, the guy who's been through what he calls production hell and even camped out in his factory to keep Tesla afloat, chimes in with some advice that's as blunt as a hammer. On X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, he dropped this bombshell. Rivian's on a path straight to bankruptcy town if they don't get their act together and cut costs massively. But wait, it gets even more dramatic. After Musk shared his 2 cents, Rivian's stock took a nosedive, crashing by a whopping 26%. That's the kind of drop that gives you a stomach ache just thinking about it. It's their biggest tumble since they first danced on the public stage in 2021. Now, Rivian CEO RJ Scaringe is in a bit of a pickle. He's pointing fingers at high interest rates along with Chinese EV companies that will soon be bringing super cheap EVs to the US. Lucid, on the other hand, with its sleek and luxurious electric sedans that look like they've zoomed straight out of a sci-fi movie, don't fare much better. Their stock took a 9% nosedive after revealing their production forecast fell short of what everyone was hoping for. Speaking of burning cash, let's talk numbers. Rivian was staring down the barrel of a $3.5 billion loss in market value, while Lucid's valuation was about to shrink by nearly $1 billion. Imagine that! It's like watching a giant pile of money just vanish into thin air. And to add insult to injury, both companies have been on a downward trend, with Rivian's stock down 34% and Lucid's down 12% since the beginning of the year. It's enough to make any investor's stomach churn. But wait, there's a glimmer of hope on the horizon. Rivian is betting big on its upcoming R2 series, a smaller and cheaper alternative to its current models, aimed squarely at taking on Tesla's popular Model Y. I'm talking about the smaller, more affordable sibling of the R1 series, the R2S SUV and the R2T pickup. These aren't just any vehicles, they're Rivian's ticket to going mainstream. Smaller and cheaper than their big brothers, these EVs are designed to appeal to a wider audience, both in the US and around the globe. Imagine driving a cool electric SUV or pickup that doesn't break the bank. That's the dream Rivian's trying to make a reality. But what about the looks? Since we haven't seen any prototypes hitting the road yet, it's all a bit hush-hush. Under the hood, or wherever electric cars keep their zippy bits, the R2 series is expected to pack a punch with a dual electric motor setup. While it might not boast the jaw-dropping power of the R1's quad motor setup, it's still going to offer plenty of room with around 600 horsepower. And thanks to some battery wizardry, these smaller vehicles will still go the distance on a single charge, keeping you on the road longer and making anxiety range a thing of the past. Given they would launch 2 years later and battery tech is only going to get better by then, we can expect a minimum range of 500 miles. The R2 family's home base will be a shiny new $5 billion factory in Georgia, set to start rolling out vehicles in 2024. And it's not just the R2 series that's getting Rivian fans excited. Rumor has it there's also a rugged SUV in the works that could give the Jeep Wrangler a run for its money. Expect the R2S to start at an estimated $40,000, making it a competitive player in the EV market. With dual electric motors and all-wheel drive likely coming standard, plus a battery that could deliver around 500 miles of adventure on a single charge, it's shaping up to be a game changer. Lucid isn't sitting still either. They've got plans for the Grand SUV, a luxurious beast with over 400 miles of range, and a mysterious mid-sized model on the drawing board for 2026. Revealed with much fanfare at the Los Angeles Auto Show, this isn't just any SUV. It's a game changer that looks set to redefine the electric vehicle or EV landscape. Now, before we get too lost in daydreams of cruising down the coast in this beauty, let's talk specs, because the Gravity isn't just about good looks. Lucid's playing coy with the full details, but what they've teased is nothing short of spectacular. We're talking next-generation ultra-compact powertrain technology that's as advanced as a spaceship's. This SUV boasts a 900-volt architecture, ensuring lightning-fast charging speeds that could rival the Lucid Air's impressive 300-kilowatt capability. Imagine zipping to 60 miles per hour in less than 3.5 seconds, all while having the strength to tow up to 6,000 pounds. But here's the real showstopper: the range. Lucid's aiming to push the Gravity beyond the 440-mile mark on a single charge. To put that into perspective, that's a whole road trip from Los Angeles to San Francisco with miles to spare, outdistancing Tesla Model X by a country mile. Design-wise, the Gravity follows in the Air's sleek footsteps, but adds its own flair. It sports a clamshell hatch and a roofline that screams elegance. Lucid claims a drag coefficient of 0.24, making it a slippery fish in the air, a remarkable feat for an SUV. Inside, the Gravity is like a luxury lounge on wheels, offering 3 rows of seats to comfortably accommodate 7 passengers. If you need space for your gear, just fold down the second and third rows to unveil a whopping 112 cubic feet of cargo space. And yes, there's a sizable front trunk, too. Perfect for all your extra bits and bobs. The cockpit is something straight out of a sci-fi flick, dominated by a 34-inch curved display stretching across the dashboard, with a secondary screen below for all your essential controls. It's a tech haven that promises to be user-friendly, and of course will get better over time with over-the-air updates. Now, I know what you're thinking. 2026? That's ages away. And you're right. In the fast-paced world of EVs, that's practically a lifetime. But these companies are playing the long game, betting that their high-tech chariots will eventually win over the hearts and wallets of drivers everywhere. But here's the kicker. Even with their grand plans and futuristic vehicles, Rivian and Lucid are up against some tough odds. The EV market is getting crowded, with every car maker from Ford to Volkswagen jumping into the ring with their electric offerings. If you were considering a Rivian pickup, the best advice would be to wait it out right now. The prices are going to fall further, and with Rivian bringing out cheaper options, we might get a better bang for our buck in the coming few months. That said, Rivian should start focusing on ramping up their production. They cannot constantly lose money, because if their own investors do not believe in the company, Rivian could start seeing massive losses very soon. Sure, their EVs are much better than Tesla's, at least that's what the people think, but they need to earn customers' trust to actually get them to buy a newer product. Would you buy a Rivian EV? Let me know down in the comments below. Type now!